Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy day after the Super Bowl for all of our American friends. And I am excited to be on here. Welcome to our Yep Daily Show. And I've got some friends on here with me as well. Let me introduce them. If you don't know who they are, uh-oh. I think my mic just went out.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Good.
So I got Debbie Salmons here. Debbie. And she's sporting the New England Patriots. As everybody knows, she's a big Patriots fan. And then the one and only also Mr. Ali Madawi. Ali.
Top of the morning to you.
Guys, we've got a great show for you. And, listen, everybody knows that the Zells, Jennifer, Laurel, our Kansas City team, we're all big Chiefs fans. And so we just thought it'd be appropriate to have a conversation, but tie it in an inspiring way today, right? And the good thing is I have tremendous respect for Ali and Debbie, and so we will keep it very cordial and right. But hey, guys, do us a huge favor. Let's say good morning to a bunch of people coming in. Let's say good morning, Lori, Scott, Jimmy Bowler, Claire Valente. Awesome, Dan Gira. Let us know where you guys are watching in from. And if this is the very first time you've ever popped on one of our shows, found out about us, let us know. Just type in the word new wherever you may be watching. But let us know where you guys are watching in from. Lisa Weeby, good morning. Hey, Scott from East Tennessee. Awesome. Hey, Angie, how are you? Good morning, everyone. Chris Easton in the house. Awesome. Hey, Annette, how are you? Very good, very good. New Jersey, I love it. I love it. Jeff from Seattle. Hey, Jeff. Debbie Morton from Phoenix, welcome. Shelly, awesome, from Montana. Welcome, welcome. Very good. Danny Lawson, hey, buddy, from Waxahachie, Texas, somewhere near Dallas. Awesome. Hey, Perenda, how are you? Good talking to you over the weekend. Mary Cadman from England. Hey, Mary. Good chatting with you this morning. Hey, Claire, how are you? Ravens country. Ooh. Awesome. All right, I think we're ready to roll here. Betty Andrews, good morning. Dan Garrett from Indiana, good morning. All right, so Ali and Debbie, thoughts? I mean, this is a big game. I know.
Listen, I'm just going to start it out, Jimmy. Let's say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Patriots. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my! Ouch!
Way to go.
Come on, listen. It's the Tampa Bay Patriots. We've got Brady, we've got Gronk, we've got Antonio Brown, and to my dismay, I'm thinking Julian Edelman's heading that way next year. So Tampa Bay Patriots, congratulations!
Man,
all right,
guys. But here's the thing, Debbie. We'll kick it off here. I mean, you guys, we're everyone listen. That word is being thrown around. The greatest of all time, the GOAT. And I want Debbie, let everyone know real quick a little bit about Tom Brady, because I think this ties into the message today as we really tee it up. Talk a little bit about Tom Brady and like his like journey, his career, real quick.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So here's the thing, just so you know, Jimmy. Yesterday was actually a very tough game for me because I love you. And listen, Mahomes is amazing. And so and I'm a little salty that Tom Brady left the Patriots. So it was a bit of a tough game for me. I mean, either team was great. But listen, why do we call Tom Brady the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Is because of where he came from and what he has done. I don't know if everybody knows, I am a diehard fan, but Brady was picked 199th. He was the 199th overall draft pick, and he was picked in the 6th round. Right? He was this gangly guy. Most quarterbacks can run, under 5 seconds, right? Whatever their measurement is. He was almost 6 seconds. So he was not highly recruited. Here's something what you guys might not know. He also was super good at baseball. And he was actually recruited, and I think it was 1985, by the Expos to play baseball, right? But he loved football. And so he decided to change his focus because he was divided, right? Some towards baseball, some towards football. He changed and focused on football, right? But Robert Kraft talks about when he walked into Gillette Stadium the first time, this tall, gangly kid who barely could run, and he told Robert Kraft, "You've just made the best decision of your life."
Yeah.
Right?
So true. You think about, like, guys, listen, and now Chiefs fans, don't hate on me. I'm just going to state the fact, right? So don't be like sending me those emails. I hate those emails and those messages on Facebook. And I know someone's going to do it. But here's the thing. There are great players, right? Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Patrick Mahomes, for sure. Great player. But he's not a GOAT yet. I mean, he's just not. I mean, Brady showed it yesterday. And and Debbie, you go back and forth for many years now. Like, we always have to face you guys. And now he's in the NFC. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, are you kidding me?
I know.
I was telling all my family, like, they're like, oh, we're gonna go, guys. I said, listen, the Bucks are making the playoffs. You watch what happens. And I kept on telling my father, oh no, you need to worry about the Steelers, you need to worry about the Ravens, and all these other. I'm like, no, you need to be worried about Brady. He's a winner.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. And he proved it. And guys, I'm a huge Mahomes fan. Of course, I have his autographed football, right? It's like,
yes.
But I'm just talking about relating this to life. This guy he was prepared. He took his game to another level. I'm going to talk about what I think he also some really good decisions. He set this up. I don't know if you figured this out by now. He is one of the most brilliant thinkers too. He set this up. He probably, he was texting his team all week long, telling them they were going to win.
Yeah.
But even then, he picking the team, he had set this up. And so, Ali, we're gonna talk about, like the difference between pros, champs, and legends. Talk a little bit about that for everybody.
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk about the stats and the teams, because I'd start talking about soccer. So here's what I will tell you. I'm not, by the way, the person to invite in Super Bowl. Not because I'll eat your chips and dips and drink all your stuff and have but I take notes. I know everybody like, dude, you're on your phone. I'm like, no, I'm just taking notes because I just saw something that will be fantastic for training tomorrow. And what came to mind is the idea between the difference between a professional and a champion. But then there's another category, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And, we can't take anything away from the pros. They worked like you're talking about, going from, as a child athlete, and then, high school athlete, and then collegiate athlete, to make it, the very, very select few, to, amongst tens of thousands of players every single year, a few hundred are selected. But here's the thing. The average lifetime of a professional in the NFL is 4 years. 4 years. And it's not because they didn't have that it factor and whatnot, but, there are different elements on and off the field. There are different elements. Are you with the right team? Do you have the right coach? Do you have the right influence? Do you have the right off-field, colleagues? You are one drama away, one scandal away, one, pot smoking away. As you know, it happens a lot. You hear it every year. There's that one player, they found weed on his system, and all of a sudden he ruined his next contract. So a professional is somebody who definitely made it into the league, but it doesn't mean that you're going to make that biggest impact. Now, don't get me wrong. An average professional in the NFL makes $860,000 a year. That's not a bad check. But also, 90% of NFL players lose their money by the time they're getting out of the NFL. So what is the message to all of us in here? There are many of us who are getting in business, and we love this cool word, entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur. Most people don't even know how to spell it. They don't know if it's the E is before the U or the U before the E. Let me help you out. The E is before the U. It's a French word. Entrepreneurship is pretty cool, and it's awesome to say I'm part of the big league, but also you are one bad move away from ruining it. And for us, ego being part of the wrong company, having the wrong integrity, having the wrong mentor or coach or the person that you're following. It could be a CEO or an upline. It's extremely important for you to identify, do I just want to be in the league or do I want to make an impact and become a champion? Back to you guys.
Yeah, and Ali, I think in terms of entrepreneurship and business, and just, you know, we use this word a lot, freedom maker. I know this is being shot in one of our groups called Freedom Makers, and we use that word a lot. But for being a professional, I mean, just to get to that level, guys, there's lots of people that never even make it. They put in a lot of work, and it's like the journey that you're on. So as we go through pros, right, champions, and legends, I want you to understand this. For you to even get into the professional level of business and success takes time. Mm-hmm. I mean, most of these athletes didn't just all of a sudden have that. They practice. I mean, you hear about, of course, Tom Brady. If you ever watch his interview, like when he talks, he never takes off the off season. He's always ready. It's unreal. And did you know that his to get him prepared, his body in the mental state, he perfectly prepares it for the Super Bowl weekend. Mm-hmm. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, there's so many things you can learn from this. Like, I mean, if you ever watch Michael Jordan's documentary, so many things that you can learn that you can apply in business. And so just to get to the pro level, you got to work. You got to do the personal growth. You got to find some mentors. You got to have a coach, right? You got to have these people. You got to think much differently just to get to that level.
Yep.
But let's talk. I mean, Debbie. I mean, your thoughts on just being a professional.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the other thing. You know, again, when you talk about Tom Brady, okay, he started as the 6th string quarterback back, and then he moved up to the 4th string. And then he moved up to the 2nd string. And you know what he was? He was ready on September 23rd, 2001, when Drew Bledsoe, the starting quarterback for the Patriots, almost, was injured and almost fatally injured. He was ready for his moment.
That's right.
Right? He kept training. He didn't complain that he was the 6th string quarterback. He didn't complain that he was the 2nd string quarterback. He outworked everybody. And he is known for outworking everybody. The first one to the stadium, the last one to leave the stadium. Just like you said, Jimmy, it doesn't matter if it's season or off season. It's the consistent effort day in, day out, even when he wasn't seeing the outward results, right? And, we're going to head into the idea of coaches and mentors and training. But I have a list of the different ones that he has always had and that he still has. And you know what else is interesting? When he was in college in Michigan, he hired a psychological sports psychologist to help him with his anxiety and his, efforts and his, so that he wouldn't fall backwards. In college, he hired that, right? So, I know we'll move forward through about how important coaches and mentors are. And if you're the GOAT and you've still got them, and we're entrepreneurs, who are we kidding when we don't think that we need them and we need to level up and find the next great one?
I just want to camp out one more thought here. We shouldn't even talk about the next 2 levels unless you understand how important this one is.
Yeah.
Like you can't get to these other levels winning championships. And guys, winning championships means you're winning in life, right? For this analogy, most of us aren't going to play pro athlete sports, right? But even to become legendary in business, which Dr. Maxwell talks a lot about, is that one level of influence that most people never get to. If you don't get this one right, like if you don't even get into the professional leagues, okay? And so this is why it's so important that you work on this, because for most of us, we can't even get past this. Now, I'm just be honest with you. There's no doubt in business, I want to get to that point where it becomes legendary as well, to create something like that. And so, but if I don't get the first part down, there's not even ever a chance. So just remember that all of that work just to get to this level in sports, right? In business, in relationships, there takes that work day in, day out, week in, week out. We talk about this month in, month out. It's just like constant work. And so, Ali, roll us into this next one, because this is so many analogies for championship mindset.
It's insane. You know what? One last piece that I want for those of you who are listening, who are brand new to entrepreneurship, freedom maker specifically. Did you hear what the average of the pro player in the NFL is? 860,000. Do you know that most of us are gonna make more than an average NFL player? You know, like that. Just think about that. Like, I'm not skilled to be in the NFL, but my goodness, it just boggles my mind when I think about it. In any case, let's go and talk about the next category. So we talked about the pros. Congrats, you made it into the leagues. Now let's talk about the champs. See, the champs are the very select few, right? They had the right coaches, they had the right team, and definitely they had the right prolonged focus, discipline, and mindset. You know, it wasn't a one-time thing, but they actually stayed consistent long enough with that mindset, with that focus and that discipline. Champs have a very high emotional intelligence. I'll give you a quick example. No dig at the Chiefs yesterday. I was getting frustrated because I know, you know, the family's Chiefs fans, so that makes me automatically in. One thing that I was getting frustrated about was, I think it was 9 penalties that cost almost 100 yards. 100 yards, and it gave the 3 touchdowns advancements to the Buccaneers yesterday. Well, guess what that was? Emotional intelligence for some players. They were triggered and they started hitting. They were triggered and they started, you know, taunting. They were triggered and doing all these things that were unnecessary. But the Buccaneers and the veteran players, they were very level-headed. They didn't let the excitement or the defeat impact their mindset. See, champs, they raise the standards and make everyone around them better. Think about Mahomes, as young in his career as it's a second or third year in the NFL. Guess what? Don't you think he raised the bar and made everybody better around him? That's what a true champ does. Champs don't let defeat define them. All right, I had a bad quarter. I had a bad season. I had a bad year. I had a bad 14 years, right? It does not define a champion. A champion keeps the main thing the main thing. When you look at that champion quarterback going back in, you know, after fumbling or after an interception, look at me saying the right words, or something bad happens, he goes right back head down into that clipboard and he keeps the main thing the main thing. Champs get right back at it even when they win. I'll tell you off the football for a second. Kobe Bryant, he actually did this after learning that MJ did this, Michael Jordan. Before and after the game is over, he will go to that one shot that he missed or didn't do good enough, and he'll keep doing it over and over and over and over again. On average, he'll do 600 to 1,000 free throw shooting after the game is over. Now, that's a whole different category, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But even if they win, they get right back at it. You heard earlier from Mr. Izell talking about Brady going right back at it even after the Super Bowl. Champs don't let a championship ring get in their head. My favorite part yesterday from Tom Brady's interview, there was a young man that asked him, how often do you wear your rings, and do you wear them all at the same time? He said, I wear my ring maybe once a year. And the reason is he's asked to do a photo shoot with them for the next magazine or whatever the case may be. Once a year. I mean, let's call it for what it is. A $500,000 ring with bragging rights, a legendary GOAT. Man, I'll be like, hey, everybody. Here, I'll be waving like this. Hey, good morning. Nice seeing you. But he put it on just because he has to do a photo shoot once a year. Never let it get into his head. Now, here's the last statistic, which is fun. We talked about the pros. They average $860,000 a year. The champ averages between $25 to $45 million a year. Now, that's a champion for you. I'll pass it back to you guys for any analysis when it comes to business.
Hey, that's great, Ali. I love that you even got those terminologies right? Yeah, you know, it's just a whole nother level. And when you're a champ, one of the things that I notice is the ego is gone. The ego is gone. Tom Brady isn't flashing those rings all the time, because here's what he's doing. He's looking to the next win, the next game, right? Now today, Patrick Mahomes probably, not feeling the best today. Let's just be honest. So he's gotta, lick his wounds a little bit. Tom Brady's probably excited, but here's what I know about the champs. They're not going to stay in that point. Mahomes is not going to stay focused on feeling bad. Brady's not going to stay focused on feeling like the champion. They're going to dig back in, just like we need to in business, and go, okay, what's next? Now the next goal, right? They're already thinking about next season. Already. And just like you said, Ali, Michael Jordan would go back and, take a look at his shots and practice them. What we know about Tom Brady and these great quarterbacks is they're going back and they're looking at their own personal tapes as well to see where they need to improve, right? And that's what we need to do as entrepreneurs, is honestly look, where do we need to improve? And how do we get to do that? By coaches and mentors that can look in on our efforts from the outside, because we can't see them all, right? Because our vision's here. So that's why they all have coaches. So I just wanted to add that. Back to you, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I think one thing when we talk about championships, champs, that whole category, I think one of the things that I've taken away from my mentors is not to celebrate too early. So here's the thing about guys, Tom Brady could celebrate all he wants now. He's seven out of 10 times he's been to the Super Bowl, he's won, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive. But even in life and business, what most people will do is they'll start to have some wins and they celebrate and they let off instead of just pushing all the way through even harder, like accelerating it, right? Debbie and Ollie, we talk about this all the time. Like, you got to lean all the way in and go even harder. And yes, there's these guys are going to celebrate today. They're going to have their parade, but I bet you the first person back into the weight room, running, if he's not retired, will be Tom Brady.
Guaranteed.
I mean, that's why, Mahomes going to have his surgery. He'll be the first one back. I mean, he's already, that guy's a competitor and they're getting ready. I mean, mentally they're like, it's over, it's done. Let's get back to work. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, but let's move into legends, because legendary, man, that's a whole nother level.
Yes.
This is Dr. Maxwell talks a lot about this, and I know Ali, you're gonna tie this, but this level, this is. I mean, guys, let's call it what it is. I might not ever get to this level. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
But I'm going for it. But I'm just saying, all of us right here. I mean, Ali, Debbie, we want this. We want to be known as that.
Yes.
Now it's relative to what you are, what you think of that, what that means for you in your life. Now, legendary legacy in your family, those type of things, those are things for sure we can achieve. But in terms of just business success, impact, right? It doesn't even have to be financial. It's just impact. That legendary status, that's a whole nother level. Ali, Debbie, talk about that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Legends, they're rare. It's not the select few. Rare, right? Yeah. Legends, their real true superpowers is longevity. Like their consistency to be able to maintain that level of greatness, that level of focus, that level of discipline beyond anybody's imagination. I mean, Tom Brady yesterday with the trophy in his hand, and the anchor asks him, "Hey, so are we gonna see you next year?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got plenty of years to go. You'll see me back here." I mean, think about that. Think about that. This is cute, but I'm coming back to compete again next year. Legends are mission driven, not money driven. Think about every single legend that we admire and look up to. They have a much bigger impact off the field than they do within the field itself. Legends study more than anyone in their team. I mean, study. Now, let me flip that on business for a second. How many of you study every single day and try to develop in your craft, personal growth, business development, marketing, sales, all those different elements? That's your playbook. How are you studying? Man, I study more than anyone. I know that to be a fact because most people around me, they're like, dude, like, can we just like talk about a TV show or something? And I'm okay with that. I can turn it off. But I will maximize and do whatever it takes to study. Legends love to be challenged. Where are my freedom makers at? See, a legend does not feel comfortable with just this is great. They get bored easily. Man, Michael Jordan, he will look for a reason to get mad at you just to get to that optimal level that he becomes in. Like literally looks for a reason like, oh, you just messed up. You made me mad.
Dude, Michael Jordan would tell himself.
He'll make up his own stories.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him.
He'll be back. Give him 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2. Come on, Mr. Zell, get back at him.
But you're right, Ali, as far as, and him talking about Michael Jordan, it's the same thing. Listen, well, this is why Tom Brady is saying, I'm going to be back, right? It's a challenge. Everybody keeps saying it's time for him to retire. Oh, he's going to retire. Oh, he's going to retire. No, he's coming back. He's a legend, and he wants to continue to elevate.
He hasn't gotten hit. He hasn't gotten hurt. He's definitely still, listen, he might not be in his peak of physique and whatnot, but my man still got it, no matter what anybody says. Legends will outwork the hardest working person in the room. Like, show me who works hard in here. Show me who makes more phone calls and more messages. Show me who trains more than everybody else. Cool. That's who I'm going after. Not for a competition, but inspiration. Legends don't speak with words, but clutch moments. Every single legend had that one moment when the team was like totally down, angry, embarrassed, falling behind, no matter what. And they had that clutch moment where they turned it around. Legends hate to lose, and hate is a strong word. If they don't literally and totally obliterate the opposite team, they feel as if they lost. Like, no, I don't want to win. I want to obliterate. I want to destroy. That's literally their mindset. And it's radical. Most of us are like, dude, that's too much. That's what legends do. Legends have an extremely high sense of responsibility and go directly to the actual issue, and they go to rectify it. They call out their flaws. I'll give you an example. Many times we see coaches, even quarterbacks, even Brady, they will call themselves out. They'll say things like, I dropped the ball. I didn't do good. I didn't throw the ball good enough. They don't say, well, if that guy run a little bit faster, he would have caught the ball that I overthrew. No, they take responsibility. When Kobe Bryant had the scandal, he got the next day on the microphone said, I messed up. It was adultery. I shouldn't have done what I've done. I'm embarrassed for my kids. I'm embarrassed for my wife. You want to be a legend? You better own it. I mean, much respect for Mr. Ezell. Every time we had, we never had a scandal, but, something didn't work out the way we wanted to when we wanted to. He'll jump on right away. He's like, guys, I dropped the ball, my fault, but I will never let that happen again. Those words will never come out of my mouth. We're going to fix it. So you want to be a legend? Man, take responsibility in your own flaws, in your own problems, in your own failures, in your own lack of success. Now that's a legend for you. Until you get to that level where you say, yep, I messed up. I didn't make phone calls. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't call the people that I needed to call. I didn't show up for myself. I didn't give my best effort. The moment you start saying anything but what I just shared with you, such as, man, I wish there's the right people. No, I'm not as skinny. I'm not as lucky. I'm not as well spoken. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And if you don't believe me, ask Tom Brady.
Yeah, one of the things you said, Ali, is the lucky word. Oh, I really, that just makes me cringe when, people, oh, you're lucky. No, you're ready is what you are. You're ready for when your time comes. And personal responsibility and personal accountability in our personal lives, in our business lives, it's vital. It's absolutely vital, again, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, I am sure they are not going and saying, well, if you had done this and if you had done that, just like you said, we evaluate our own actions, our own efforts. It has to start there. And if we elevate our own actions and our own efforts, then that's how the team elevates with you.
And you know what, Debbie? We've seen players in the past who have gotten on the microphone and started saying, I'm just so fed up. I want to go to another team. Do you remember those players?
Nope.
You're literally buried yourself. What's his name? 88, Antonio Brown.
Yep.
Tom Brady saved his career.
Yes, he did.
Because he went, I want to out, and he went to the Raiders, right? And then from the Raiders, he got like $100 million contract, and then he ran away and took just the guaranteed money. And Bill Belichick and Brady gave him a shot, and he ruined that after 3 games. Oh my goodness, I know my stuff. Here's the thing. Brady made a phone call, and he gave him a shot. Today, he's a champ. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to be a legend. He got his mindset and his stuff together for this one season, right? Let's see what he does. Will he be a legend? It's yet to be determined. Mr. Ezell.
Awesome. Guys, I apologize about my computer keeps shutting down on the middle of this live.
I think the Chiefs fans are doing everything because you said something that bothered them a little bit. Oh, by the way, the average legend makes between $200 to $600 million. So money does talk when it comes to pro, champ, and legend. But that's while they're playing. Could you imagine once they're off the field?
Yeah.
Take it away, sir.
Yeah. So I want to close it up just to honor everybody's time here, but I want to share this with all of you because I know some of you are salty, right? Especially my Chiefs friends. But I just want to put it all back together, guys. See, I knew Monday morning whether the Chiefs won or lost, it wasn't going to change my life.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to change my life. Meaning like I knew that I'd have to get back up this morning and go to work, go build a business, right? And for some of you that are going to mourn all day long, come on, let's get back at it, right? See the Bucs. Brady on them, their lives changed. They're going to have a parade. They're going to celebrate. But even the Bucs fans, their life isn't going to change. And for my fellow Chiefs fans, don't stay bitter too long, right? There'll be another season. And I say that because we celebrate and we applaud so many people, their lives, right? I mean, I'm a fan too, right? But some of you need to start applauding for yourself and start winning in your life. Like you go become a professional, a champion, and a legend, right? And let others applaud you instead of you always applauding everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Right. And the one thing about Brady that I love what he did. If you actually analyze and you start to really look what he did, he picked a team, guys. He picked it where he knew that he'd have some support players. Let's call it what it is, man. He went got Gronk right off the bat. He had Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller. I mean, guys, he picked it. I mean, he knew those guys, if he could come into that system, right, and then lead, because he's an unbelievable leader, that he could put that team together. And look, guys, they proved it. I mean, no more talking. I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan. I love my Chiefs. But, man, Laurel and I were just talking about last week. We were doing a little trash talking to CJ, our CFO. But the reality is we knew in our minds that, man, he there's a reason why he's the GOAT. And he did it again. He elevated his game. He elevated his leadership. And he had to prove something to everyone. He had to prove something to the world. And man, kudos to Tom Brady and the Patriots. I hope we see you guys.
The Patriots, you said, huh? All right.
Or the Buccaneers.
I've changed their name.
Yeah, we hope to see you guys in the Super Bowl next year. For the rest of you fans, good luck. But the Chiefs will be back there again next year. So my question to all of you is: what if you could be on a winning team, right? What if you could be in a winning community where you have a greater shot at winning a championship, right? Well, listen, we want to invite you. If you haven't heard about our Yep to Freedom challenges, they have become famous, world famous. Literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people are now joining. Legendary people have now spoken on that stage. I messaged someone today that him and I are going to meet, and I talked to him about our challenge, and so let me just share this with you. We've had people like legendary Les Brown on it. Last week we had James Malonchek from ABC Secret Millionaire, the original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington was on there, and then the game entertainment mogul Steve Mandel, which Kevin and Steve are on our advisory board and shareholders in our company. And so if you want to join a winning team, right, I want to invite you to our challenge next week, and a team that really supports you. They'll be there with you on your journey to freedom. And it's February 15th through the 19th. Whoever is sharing this with you, get with them. They'll give you a link. It's completely free. You can go in there, 5 days of intense, like, we're just going to knock out some things that may be holding you back. We're gonna give you some real practical and tactical things that you can do, from social media to branding to clients, perfecting defining your perfect client. All these things in 1 week. It will be life changing, and it's completely free. So get the link from somebody, and let me turn it over to Ali and Debbie for any other closing comments as well.
Ladies first.
Yeah, I just want to, there is a champion in each and every one of you. There really is. And like Jimmy said at the beginning, you've got to just keep growing and learning and level up. You've got to get the one step right. It's like in mathematics, right? You learn based upon precept. And so in this amazing community and in this challenge, you begin to elevate those steps up that rung to being a champion. So embrace your inner champion. And listen, we may not all become legends, but we can become legends in our own mind by striving for it. So I encourage you, take a look at this challenge, get back to the person that shared this with you. Ali, over to you, my friend.
Yeah, you just got to get in the field and start. So, to go for, to become a legend, you got to be a champ a couple of times. To become a champ, you got to be a pro. So here's your invitation to transition from a habitual entrepreneur, just as a hobby, to an actual professional, because there is a way of succeeding in business. And as James Malonchek taught us, you want to buy speed. You don't want to keep using the free applications in your phone and watching leftover information from YouTube and making all the mistakes that are costing you, while you can be making right now $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 a month, and you're extending and delaying that struggle period just because you don't want to be a pro. So become a pro. Here's your invite. Get back to the person who tagged you in here and tell them, hey, man, I want to be a freedom maker. It's my time. Mr. Rizal, back to you.
I love it. So, yeah, get back with it. That's really it. Ali and Debbie, thank you for a great show. Guys, let us know in the chat if you loved it. Type it if you're going to be a champion or a pro champion or a legend. Let us know in the comments.
Legendary, baby.
And so that, it'll be in there so we can see it, go back, say hello to you guys. But thank you, everybody, for a great day. Tomorrow, before I forget, would anybody want some marketing tips tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Marketing tips? Tomorrow, we're going to have a special show. We're going to have Kristen Lee, a.k.a. Super K. That's her brand. She's going to be doing some extra. She's going to give you guys some training tomorrow. And here's what's great. She's going to actually show you how she would promote for a challenge like this. So that's going to be awesome tomorrow. Make sure you join us on the show. And everybody, we will see you then. Have an amazing day. Happy Monday. Thanks, Ali and Debbie. See everybody.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.